Hiya, and welcome back to my channel. If you're a Hinster, welcome back. If you are new, do consider subscribing and liking this video if you resonate with the reading, and also leave a comment if you want to share how it resonates and your story. And it's a nice Sunday funday morning, and this is another life path reading. And these readings are designed for those kind of feeling lost, or they want to get back on track, or they are trying to decide which way to go in some sense. So what I'm going to do first of all is show you an image of 9 cards, and some of them are numbered, and I'd like you to look at the cards, reflect on the numbers, take as long as you want. You might like to pause the video, and when you've really decided that that's the number you want to pick, you can unpause the video and you can go directly to the part of the video for your number. I'm going to put timestamps as well below for you. So take some time now to really think about that, and don't rush yourself, and just be sure before you proceed to your specific number. But I want to also talk about this Lover's card in the middle, because this is where you are right now. This is a major arcana card. Some of you might be in this space energetically of wanting to move, even if it's not the ideal thing. This could be also moving with someone, or towards someone, even if you and this other person or this group or this thing, even if you don't perfectly harmonize, there's still some sense of moving together or meeting in the middle. And there might also be some decision that you want to move forward harmoniously toward, even if, again, this decision is not the easiest or the most harmonious. So that seems to be where you are sort of energetically. Some of you might even be in a sort of Gemini space, a sort of soulmate space with the Lovers here. You might be thinking very much about a soulmate or some very strong contractual connection. So that's kind of where you are right now. So now I'm going to move on to the individual cards based on the numbers that people pick. So we're going to start with card number 1. And this deck has been shuffled, by the way. Yet still we have a very typical number 1 card, the Emperor, coming out. For those of you thinking of like physically, literally moving somewhere, you might actually want to think about going back somewhere, and going back like northeast, if that makes sense for you. So going back somewhere and like in a northwest, northwesterly direction, northwest. For others, the direction is like you are having to go back to something more square, more stable, something more business related as well. Go back to where the business is, or where the entrepreneurialism is. Go back to where you are able to lead. So I think you who've picked number 1, you are actually going back somehow, or that's the direction you should go, especially if there's business or some leadership position for you there, or if there's some major figure, person, space there that has to do with leading or power. And we also have a message from Mars for you. And this message is for you to focus on initiating. Even if you are spending a lot of time revising something, still focus on a slow moving, but a slow moving forward. Slow progress, but progress. And again, you might be going back a lot of the time over something. So the message from Mars is to stick with that, and you're really in it for the long haul, but it's also you're being very strategic. You're learning a lot about strategy right now, so follow that strategic, revisionary sort of hunch of yours and choose that path. Okay, for those of you who picked card number 2, you have Temperance, a major arcana card, big sign from the universe, from Spirit coming for you. To, if you're thinking of physically moving somewhere, relocating, traveling, the north is coming up for me, and it might not even be something you have considered, but the north is probably a good option. This can also mean for some of you upstairs, going upstairs or higher in some sense when it comes to moving, relocating, traveling, and there might be a significant Sagittarius. This might also be Sagittarius season, which has just started. So this month might be very good for you to move, to relocate. For others, this is more about, as you can see, Temperance. This is more about choosing a direction where you are controlling your passions a bit more already. You are not letting desire get the better of you. You might need to do some unexpected alchemy, or you might need to reach out to someone who can help you rebalance something emotionally or in terms of your desires. Again, I don't think you can necessarily see this person or this source, but they are there, and maybe a little later in this month of Sagittarius season, you find them, or you find that source, and there is this balance or this kind of alchemy that is coming. It might even be like a drink, a cocktail with someone who is going to help you with your life path, help you get back somehow on track. I feel like they're going to be like a teacher of emotions, or this resource that you find is going to teach you about emotional control. Especially for those of you feeling sad, I'm getting as well, to not let that get you down already, or to process it, but you're also, I think, getting over it, but you might not right now see yourself getting over it. There's also messages from Venus coming in. Venus just entered Scorpio for you, who's picked number 2. So this is very important. I, by the way, did a video on Venus entering Scorpio. You can check that out if you're interested. But the message from Venus for you, number 2, is to be okay with this raw confrontation of your emotions. To be okay with it, to embrace it. You see the shadow is being cast over this card right now as I approach it. So you may well be having to flow and vibe with the rawness of your emotions, and let your heart beat that way. And again, it's like this process that you're going through emotionally, and you're going to come out of it transformed. You're going to come out of it more empowered, even inspired. So Venus is telling you to flow with it. Okay, number 2, and not to resist it or to push it away too much. So for those of you who picked number 3, you have the major arcana card, Justice. Those of you hoping to move or relocate physically, literally, thinking about moving, traveling. The Northeast definitely seems like the right choice, and I feel like you are already approaching this decision. And karmically, this might be something very important. You might be finding that you're heading towards somewhere you were always heading to. This might also have to do with a Libra. A Libran might be helping you with this move, this relocation, or some Libran type of person. They might be, as you can see with this justice word, they might be a judge, a lawyer of some sort, or someone very sensible and decisive. Someone who's very good with the right thing as well. More generally though, number 3, this is about you're heading towards something, or you're choosing the path that is karmically honest. That's what I'm getting. So be honest with your karma and keep going down, or choose the path that is most in alignment with your karma. So paying attention to your accountability. Number 3, paying attention to your own mistakes, and yes, owning up to past mistakes, present mistakes, and possible future mistakes, and being brave about that. So I'm getting accountability for a lot of you, and even if you might not be perfectly aligned with it right now, or perfectly recalibrated karmically, right now you are heading in that direction, I see. And I see a lot of you already see this path. So this is just more affirmation from the universe, from spirit, for you to continue and or to choose that path that you actually see. Messages from Mercury then coming in for you are to, again, be emotionally honest, be deep, be raw with your thoughts and your thought processes, and don't try to shut out or disconnect from how you're thinking about your karma or how you're thinking about your direction in life. Don't shut it out. Be honest and let your mind explore these emotions. This can also be this message from Mercury to conversate with others openly and honestly, or do some research online maybe about how to handle certain things that are on your mind right now, or certain relationships as well, because this is a sword card or an air card, and Mercury also deals with air, or is often associated with messages, communication, synchronicities as well. So don't ignore these mental synchronicities, messages that might be coming in from Hermes, from Mercury, from the Coyote spirit. Okay, so for those of you who picked number 4, if you are moving literally, physically, you're thinking of relocating, traveling, what I'm getting is to leave someone or something, move out. If there's some sense of separation already, or some sense of splitting, then to follow that naturally, to choose that path. I think for some of you, there's even someone that you are moving away from physically, and or they are sort of going to move out or move away. And you might not see it yet because this is behind you. You can see the imagery here. This person is not only looking the opposite direction from you, but they're also behind you. So you might not even see it yet, but there is this person moving out or away. For those that this resonates with. More generally, number 4, you are having to choose a path where you walk away from people or things that no longer give you substance. There might be people in your life, or a person in your life, or something that just never really delivers. It's always a bit half-baked or immature, And you are much more, you've grown much more, number 4. And I think you need to, some of you might already be cutting ties or finally pushing away or moving away spiritually. But for those who haven't yet, consider it, because these people or this person, this thing right now, it does seem to still have its back turned to you, like they're not fully delivering somehow. This might even have something to do with money, material, or some opportunity that they just never are going to give you. And it is time, I think, for you to choose the path of deciding to, I think you're going to decide to, if this is a person or people or group, you do decide to leave amicably, but there's leaving or parting nonetheless. And I think that's for the best, my love. I really do. And messages from the moon, then, number 4. The moon right now is in Pisces, by the way, as I record this. Yeah, I'm getting that you need to stop unconditionally loving someone or something. Again, you might not really see this at the moment because this person, this thing is behind you. You're facing opposite directions. But some of you might be sort of torn spiritually. So I'm getting like unconditional love, and to kind of stop it or to get it more under wraps, and to also, if you can, sort of fly away into some form of escapism. If there's some life path or some choice that you have in front of you to escape through art, games, sensible drug recreation, whatever it is, choose that little path of fun, creativity, escape. I think it's also going to help you release, get over, or leave someone behind. So that's what the moon is asking you to do, and to be comfortable with that. And again, it's the moon, so you might not even see it yet. It might be very subconscious, very hidden, very confused. But that's what I'm getting. Alrighty, for those of you who picked card number 6, you have got the 7 of Cups, and this is a very sort of life path reading type of card to come out. Okay, so for those of you physically thinking of leaving, moving house, relocating, anything like that, traveling, you're still in this period. It's very much a focus of yours right now, but there's still this period of confusion maybe, or a lot of options. So I would say to you to still sit there, maybe take another week, another month to really sit with the decision. Maybe come back to my channel or go to another reader in the meantime to help you mull over this decision. I don't think it's clear yet, like where you're going to move. Maybe you have a couple of houses or rooms that you like or that seem like the right fit, but I don't think you should make a concrete decision right now. And more generally, a lot of you, number 6, are on this big life path journey. You are at this very important point in your timeline. A lot of you are at this crossroads. And it's a big, big, big learning point or learning curve for some of you. And take some time, please. Take some time. Don't fly too quickly into something. Don't too confidently go down a certain path. Maybe spend some more time focusing on what you need versus what you want, your comfort and security versus your ego, these sorts of things. Think about that. maybe if you're more of a day person, spend some more time at night thinking about this, and vice versa. If you're more of a night person, spend some more time during the day out and about if you can. And that process is going to help you, I think, reach a clearer decision. And you also have, with this card number 6, messages from Saturn coming through. And Saturn is really building up to or in the boiling point right now, the intense degrees of Capricorn. And so some of you, number 6, are on a sort of precipice, a cusp of release, breakthrough, innovation. Saturn's about to hit Aquarius in December. So what I'm getting for you is that there is some burst coming. There is some genius coming where you're like, aha, that is the path. Or aha, literally that is the place, the country, the city, the room that I need to move to or travel to. But Saturn is telling you to wait another week or two, because emotions can really be running high when Saturn is in the higher degrees of Capricorn. There could be melancholy for some of you that is making you, or worry that is making you rush into a decision or rush toward a given path. But the advice I'm getting from Saturn is to slow down a little bit and wait until like early mid-December 2020, when I think a decision is going to be clearer for you. Alrighty, if you picked number 7, my love, my hinsters, then you have picked the Devil card. Major Arcana card, big sign for you from Spirit, from the universe. You can see this devil has these feet, these hooves on fire. It is upright, though, this card, so don't worry, please, too much. First of all, those of you planning to move, literally, physically, or travel, relocate, you may well be going back, and or the direction of southwest might be the best one to take. Or going downstairs, and also going downstairs to somewhere you didn't expect to go, or somewhere surprisingly beneficial or profitable for you. Maybe you have a business and you're thinking of relocating your business, so southwest, or moving into a basement maybe, or downstairs somehow, and you haven't been thinking of that, but now it might appear to be the better choice for you. For others, you're moving back to your father, or some father figure, or some father land somehow. And again, it might not be apparent to you yet, or you might be receiving a call, a message from some father figure, some boss, and some move or relocation is then had. More generally though, number 7, the direction to take, the life path sort of message here is, if you are choosing to go back, those of you who do go back somewhere, backtrack, it is only to really revisit whether or not you have learned some lesson of control, manipulation. Sometimes the Devil card is about addiction, so have you really learned about your addiction? Have you really overcome it? Control in general, manipulation, withdrawal, withholding, these types of energy dynamic. You might be returning to that, but it's only as a sort of final wrapping up, I think. So don't get scared or disheartened or feel like your parade is being rained on or that something is being shot down. I feel like you're just returning to something or someone to confirm to yourself, yes, I'm over this. Yes, I'm out of this. Yes, this person, this thing can no longer control me. And really, this personal thing was a lesson for you. A karmic lesson, maybe. Something like that. So do keep that in mind, number 7. And then we have messages from Neptune for you, number 7. And I want you to think about Neptune going retrograde. Neptune goes retrograde very soon, actually. I'm going to make a video about that later in the week or over the next couple of weeks. If you're interested, you can check that out. But the message from Neptune for you is to be okay with disillusionment, especially if it involved something about addiction or finally realizing that you're no longer going to be controlled by an addictive person or substance or cycle. Neptune is telling you to continue flying free yourself, continue to free yourself. Choose the path, number 7, that is going to free you even more from, or get you even further from, that person, that cycle, that devil energy. Choose that. It's going to be very freeing, and it might involve, this path, something to do with surrender, and you can't see yet what you're surrendering to, maybe. But I feel like it's very exciting, and there's this big like release energy that you're going through right now, or you're going to be going through. Big release. You might be really getting in touch with God again, some of you, the universe, spirit again, after a dark period, or after some relationship with a dark person, who was only there to teach you something that quite clearly I think you've learned. But Neptune is going to go direct soon. And so the message here might be to finally wrap up that disillusionment process and start to get back to the magic, start to get back to the beautiful surrender to God and the universe and everything. That is just beautiful. Alrighty, so those of you who picked number 8, if you're thinking of moving, physically, literally relocating, traveling, anything like that, you have the 2 of Cups, number 8, 2 of Cups, and so you might not be thinking of it, but moving south, especially if it's with a friend or someone you're close to, with a partner even, moving south seems like the right way to go, or moving downstairs to the basement. But I don't think that you see that yet, but you're going to, or it's going to come in. Some communication might even come literally from downstairs, from south. That seems actually to be the more harmonious or more lovely sort of move. You might be traveling down south as well in your near future or right now to catch up with someone. This is like a cup of coffee card. Let's have a drink card. Let's get chitty chatty socially card. And it's nice and it's emotional. But more generally, number 8, the direction, the life path that you are choosing might be really based on just getting more in touch in your relationships and striking more of a balance in your relationships. Especially those ones that have been more painful. The Lover's card can be about agreeing to disagree as well. Agreeing to move in the same direction, even if there's still a little bit of pain. Roses, they have thorns, right? And they're coming together here with the 2 of Cups. So I feel like you're going down some sort of path where you're trying to patch things up with a lot of people in your life, or that is the path that you should go down. Maybe you can't see it right now, right? But that seems to be the right way for you. So, making amends with people, apologizing when you should, where you should, reciprocity as well, giving back to people. Or there might have been some relational lesson in your past, or in the South, literally, where you were taught something about love, relationships, moving together rather than apart, and that has kind of put the wind in your sails, and it's helping you feel a better sense of direction right now, even if there's no like solid plan. Someone or something is helping you feel more enlightened even with the Lovers card, more savvy when it comes to the philosophy of relationships and the spirit of relationships. Messages from Uranus, then, number 8, is to, again, Uranus is retrograde right now in Taurus. And so what I'm getting here immediately is to, focus still on repatching things, going back over things in your relationships, even if it seems some of you might right now feel like you're above that, and that could be a mistake. You're not above it, I'm going to say. You want to, I think, again, patch things up, over, revise something. Uranus is this archetype of flippancy, this archetype of chaos, this archetype of breaking free, very unpredictably, like suddenly. And so maybe you did some of that in the past with people, and now you're going back, or you're having to go back. Or that's the path you should go down, where you, again, with the apologies I'm getting especially, you want to just be nice again and return to a space of niceness with people. So Uranus is kind of asking you to revisit and reestablish security and niceness, that those Taurian energies, and sense as well. Just do the sensible thing, do what is right to do in this relationship, or for a lot of you in multiple types of relationship. The Lover's card is the Gemini energy, so maybe right now you are in this Gemini space of, or you have been in this Gemini space of disconnecting from everyone and just being a bit of a spiritual teenager, and not really giving a frig in some cases. But now I think Uranus is asking you to go back, because there were some chaotic things done, some messy things. Uranus isn't always waiting for us and others to be ready, and Uranus can sometimes over-experiment, be our over-experimentation. So think about that as well. Number 8. Alrighty, if you picked number 9, then you picked the Mother of Wands, my love, my hinsters. And if you're thinking of moving, relocating, traveling, literally, physically, something like that, then maybe southeast is the right way to go. And I feel like you kind of already sense this. You already kind of know. And this can also be moving back to your literal mother, or some mother type. Moving in with mother. Going to some nest, or moving to help someone, moving in with someone who is about to hatch or literally give birth. That can be something that comes up for you right now or very soon. More generally though, number 9, in terms of the life path, direction and choices, I feel like you know where to go increasingly, but there is this sense of I'm getting, don't give things away. Don't shout out to the world on your Facebook where you're going, or get too extroverted with your spiritual journey or spiritual experience. I feel like there's still more internally that you are doing or needing to do. There's more of a waiting. Something might not, for some of you, feel perfectly aligned yet, or feel ready, basically. And also some of you need to choose the path that is going to continue to protect you. So maybe not choosing the path that is risky right now, or that seems too exposed right now. So I wouldn't move somewhere, if you literally physically moving, I wouldn't move somewhere that is totally alien to you. Unless you're at home and comfortable with the alien, that's fine. But for those not, I wouldn't go that way. I'd go the way of security, and where you can trust that things will hatch for you, and where you can trust that you're going to be able to slowly incubate on things, and where knowledge, like lessons I'm getting as well, where lessons can be, they can sort of mature at their own pace. So maybe some of you are choosing a path where you're going to, you're still learning about something, and you need to be somewhere or with someone where that learning process is, just protected and sanctified in some cases. You might be seeking like a sanctuary or a sanctification, if that's a word. So don't give away your secrets, I'm getting as well. Don't give away your magic. Don't give away, even choose like a secret path that is secret but also sanctified. Choose a secret direction. The other place, the hidden place. That could be something for you. Okay, number 9. Messages from Jupiter then are telling you pretty much the same thing. Jupiter right now is in Capricorn. And Jupiter's been in Capricorn for quite a while. It was also retrograde until like mid-September 2020. And so it's very much a similar thing from Jupiter, your messages, which is to hold your horses. Jupiter is said not to like to be in Capricorn. But soon in December, Jupiter will leave Capricorn, and there will be that Jupiter in Aquarius, big, bold burst of progress, freedom, all that jazz. But you are being asked right now to hold your horses, stay sat on these eggs. You know, Jupiter is still conjunct Pluto. Pluto we can definitely associate with snakes, snake archetypes. And so with Jupiter so close to Pluto, and Jupiter having conjuncted Pluto, not just now, but 2 times before in the recent past, you are being asked to continue to be wise about the dynamics of control, secrecy, toxicity. I feel like you're closing, a lot of us, but you especially, you're closing finally a cycle of learning about toxicity, learning about control, and like kind of unhealthy symbiotic things as well, like codependent relationships, abusive relationships, manipulators. So if you've chosen this card, Jupiter number 9 is asking you to keep all of that in mind and everything you've learned thus far, and to hold your horses. Alrighty, if you have stayed until this moment, then this message is also for you. And this is a message from Pluto. You have the 10 of Swords here. This is often interpreted as the melodrama card or the end of your tether card. It is upright though, so Pluto is indicating to you, messages from Pluto for you are that wherever you are headed, there's some end of like really stressful arguments or a really stressful, mentally plaguing relationship, or just melodrama, whether that's all around you or within a specific relationship or within yourself. The melodrama, the mental exhaustion is finished, and the path that you're choosing, or the path that you should choose, is going to be, should be that which is powerfully having come out of all of that shiz. Okay, powerfully having, like a phoenix, like Pluto, having transgressed it and not regressing. So if there are some paths in front of you where you think melodrama or exhaustion, end of your tether type stuff might return, or similar people might return, don't choose that path if you can. Choose the path where you're like, yeah, this is where there is power, but also peace. This is where I'm in control as best as I can be again. Go down that path. That is what Pluto's asking you to do. This chapter is over. This awful relationship, or this excruciating thought process, or again, this like awful, ongoing, ridiculous drama, it's over. And that's where you need to continue going, that direction of all of that being over.